Good morning and welcome to the April City Manager and Mayor's Press Conference. I'd like to start off this morning by offering condolences to the family of Lieutenant Eddie Stanley, his wife and family and friends, and his co-workers. It's unfortunate that we lost him at such an early age because he was quite a credit to the police department. In fact, I think just about 2 weeks ago, he was one of our city council members doing his job, making sure everybody was safe and being the face of the police department at those community meetings. I appreciate all the condolences that have been coming in to the police department for his fellow workers, to support them and the chief as they make plans to recognize his passing and pay him the respect that he deserves. So again, our condolences to his wife and family on his passing. Detail, yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
No, that was you.
I was just going to say the details are probably forthcoming. You may have some of those as well.
Yeah, you're correct. The arrangements are still being finalized, but I also did want to recognize and say thank you to the AMR units who responded to the call. As I understand, definitely tried to resuscitate him. But again, I just want to say thank you for the response to that. I also want to mention too that while we are continuing to work on the arrangements, that peer support is also available to our officers and to the City of Topeka community or the City of Topeka team. And so just wanted to make sure that was also out there. Chief Vallejo did a very good job communicating all of this with me immediately after he learned of the passing. But I also want to, again, just let the City of Topeka Police Department know that the peer support's available in the event that you need that.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Well, go ahead, City Manager. Why don't you go ahead and follow up on the next item that we were going to discuss this morning?
Thank you, Mayor. So if they haven't already, I believe there was some of our female police officers and Shawnee County Sheriff's members who have come up with a pretty good program called Empower Her. It's all about bringing sexual assault awareness to the community. It provides opportunities for, we're really targeting high school students, female high school students and above, to really understand some of the dangers of sexual assault, give you some tips on red flags to look for, and then also provide you with some self-defense knowledge. Actually, had an opportunity to serve as I don't want to say a demonstration dummy, but they definitely showed me, they definitely used me, some of those officers, to demonstrate a couple of moves. So it was, didn't get any bruises or anything. So that was good. But the team is actually hosting some input sessions over the next several weeks, and they look to start that program in the summer. And so very much looking forward to this program. I think it's a great opportunity. A couple things. One, as a recruitment tool, showing our young ladies out there that, hey, there's a career in law enforcement if they're interested. And also, two, to get some real community engagement with our officers between Shawnee County Sheriffs and TPD on the community. So looking forward to that.
It's a good program. I know that years ago we had some different kinds of self-defense courses. They come and go, but oftentimes if it's not revisited, people forget that resource and training is available. But yeah, I would encourage as many people as possible who are interested just stop in, sign up and take advantage of this opportunity. One of the things I want to bring up today is that May is Military Appreciation Month. About 2 years ago, we had a very significant recognition event at City Hall that included recognizing local individuals who were joining the military or were going to military academy. In fact, former city council member Tony Emerson, his son was being accepted into the Air Force Academy. And so we had representatives from the academy and others who locally brought in representatives from some of the military organizations to show our appreciation for those who continue to serve on a daily basis, those who have served, and also show support for community members who are thinking about joining the military. So this year we're putting on to an event that I hope many of you will take the time to come and take part in, and that'll be on May 5th. It'll be at 5 p.m. The location that we know right now will be here at the Cyrus K. Holiday Building to the south of us in that open area. We've got a number of participants. We have also been highlighted because we're having some of the representatives and members of the USS Topeka who will be here for that event. I think they're sending, I think the last I count was 4 to 8 different members from the crew. They've already sent a couple of memorabilia that will be displayed at City Hall. And we wanted to make sure we recognize their service for the namesake submarine that is being decommissioned. So they're coming here. They'll partake in the presentation, recognition, and there'll be an opportunity for the public to visit with them. We also have some of our local schools who will be participating. In fact, Topeka West has agreed to have their band come and be part of the presentation of the colors and playing musical pieces that will kind of highlight each of the military services in a way that I think is appropriate and kind of also timely, because later on the day, that same day, there is a performance, a free performance concert at TPAC by the Air Force Academy Orchestra. And if you have not seen or heard them before, it's something to hear. They're really a professional, inspiring group. So they will be here for the event as well. So the Topeka West School band and their drill team will be here as well. So I would encourage a lot of people to take about 45 minutes of their time to come down and see the entire presentation. We've got a lot of veterans who are interested in seeing this happen, because we talk about supporting our veterans, but we have to remind ourselves on a regular basis of what they did to serve our country and how they continue to serve our country, and show it in a way that is more than just a few words. So it's important for us to do that as a city. We have a number of people who are on the city staff who are veterans, and so it is close to our heart as well. I'll give you the next topic before I wrap up with what other activities we have for May 5th.
Yeah, I'll probably just put another plug in. Speaking of the Military Appreciation Month, I did mention Keep Tour. The last time we spoke here, I think we were talking about it. We actually have a date of July 17th. It's Thursday. Again, the goal of the Keep Tour is to try to attract transitioning soldiers out of Fort Riley and Fort Leavenworth to actually keep them here in Kansas. And so the Keep Tour actually gives us an opportunity to showcase all the great things that the city of Topeka has to offer anybody who would really who would want to live here. And so throughout that day, the soldiers will be touring and hearing all the educational, career, and housing opportunities that the city of Topeka has to offer. And then that evening, we timed it to where they can also participate in Fiesta Topeka. And so along the lines of the educational, career, and housing opportunities, we also wanted to share some of our culture with the soldiers. And so again, the goal is to really attract and keep the soldiers here in Kansas, particularly here in Topeka. Mm-hmm. And I think that we have a lot of great things to offer. additionally to include just the VA services that are here. So there's a lot of great things that the Topeka has to offer, and we hope that this will be an ongoing tour. If we can get it every 6 months, I would love to see the soldiers be able to come in and share in what we have to offer here, and hopefully attract them to stay here, come live here, bring their families here, and grow here.
Yeah, Topeka's always been a welcoming committee when it comes to the armed forces. When the airport, Forbes Airport, was really active, there was a lot of interaction between the military personnel and the citizens in Topeka. They were involved in a lot of activities, and it is a welcome group of people because they're dedicated to their job, they're skilled, they add to the workforce, and it's timely as well as we continue to work toward bringing more air service to Topeka. There's also the effort for our KC-46s that we're trying to attract to the Forbes Field, and it shows those people in authority who make those decisions that this is a community that is ready and willing and welcoming of an even bigger presence by the military here in the city of Topeka. So it's all timely to show our appreciation for their efforts. And May 5th is going to be a busy day for a lot of things. Cinco de Mayo, everybody thinks that's a Mexican Independence Day, and it's not. But it is something that a lot of retailers and shop owners here in Topeka take advantage of in a way to recognize that date as being important to some of the population, and including, I know that at Westridge Mall, we encourage our citizens to shop locally. They're putting on 2 or 3 events out there. They have a Cinco de Mayo market and a couple of events that they, I would encourage you to take some time and go out and see what's going on, enjoy some of the food and activities there, because again, that's an opportunity to support local businesses. And for the most part, I think Topeka embraces that day. It's something to celebrate, just if you want to get together with friends and family. So make that a point during that day to spend some time at some of our local businesses. I think the last thing we want to probably wrap up on, City Manager, is a little update again on the plans for the budget workshops.
Yes, sir. So as we've discussed previously, we are facing, we're projecting, a $17 million deficit for FY26 and a $21 million deficit for FY 2027. And so really since last year, the team and I have been working on ways to address those deficits. I know we've floated some ideas of sales tax initiatives, put that on hold. And so what the team and I have really been doing has been looking at ways to, I'll just call it that we've been looking for ways to have a bit of a leaner organization. And so we've looked at areas where we can obtain some efficiencies. I think we talked a couple of months ago about how we are really scrutinizing our hiring process. If there's opportunities for us to have a vacant position, the duties of a vacant position absorbed by existing staff, we're looking at those opportunities to have that happen while achieving the savings of not filling that vacancy. And so we are going to be starting with some budget work sessions with the City Council. We've been sharing things about our capital improvement programs. And so now we're really going to be kicking it into more of the operating expenditures and revenues. And so over the next several months, we'll be soliciting feedback from the mayor and the governing body, and then also be hearing, I hope to start having some public meetings to get input on the budget process as well as we craft a proposed budget going into the summer months. But I will tell you, I think that we've come up with some creative things that really excited to, I know budget's not exciting, but there's some things that I think that we can do differently as we craft our future budgets.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I want the public to understand too, while we're doing this, we're not saying, okay, we're not going to complete the projects that we already have working. If you drive around this town, it doesn't take you very long at all to see a lot of the road projects that are in progress. And working very hard to get those done on a timely basis so that we can take advantage of the good weather that we do have here in Kansas. I'm really pleased to see the work that's been completed and anticipating even more so those works that are already on the books and have already started them maybe a little bit earlier, which I think was a good idea, obviously, because our weather can change so quickly. But it is encouraging for me to hear how well staff and city managers are working together to find those efficiencies that really impact the bottom line, but at the same time doesn't reduce or impact in any way the services that we provide to the citizens of Topeka. One other thing that I know that you got involved with this year, that since you've come, you might want to talk to, and that's that Way to Work program, favorite program of one of our council members.
So thank you, Mayor. So the Topeka Way to Work program, I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago. It's a pretty exciting program where we are giving teens between the ages of 14 to 16 their first glimpse into work. And so this year we kicked off the program with orientation in March, and we had interviews actually the last couple of weeks. I think we had somewhere around 44 applicants. As the mayor mentioned, our local businesses. There's a number of local businesses who have stepped up to actually host some of those teens, and so we're basically in the just completing the interview process. I think actually we had our last interview yesterday, and so over the next couple of weeks we'll be working with those teens on selections, and then also getting from them because there's different host organizations to include the Topeka Zoo, to include the city of Topeka actually. And so what we really want to do over the next few weeks is match based upon the interests of the selected teens where they will work over the summer between June and July. And so it's very interesting. I stopped by some of the interviews. I think it was last Sunday before, and I was very impressed with some of the kids that I heard. I mean, 14, 16 years old, probably more polished than me, and I was just like, wow. So looking forward to the kids coming on board. The city of Topeka, as mentioned, I think we're going to host 6 or 7 of the kids ourselves in different city departments. Again, not only does it give them an opportunity for their first job, but it also gives the city another recruitment tool. Mm-hmm. Hopefully the kids come in, they like what they're doing. Maybe they'll want to work for the city one day. Mm-hmm. Looking forward to actually a couple of the kids are going to work in, one's going to be in the police chief's office, the other one's going to be in the fire chief's office. It should be a good program, and looking forward to working with those teens.
Yeah, my compliments to the city manager for going out there and doing that. I've done it before, and it's always a fun exercise to visit with those students and the parents who sit there who are really proud of their kids for stepping up and wanting to get involved this way. And I appreciate all the efforts from Councilwoman Ortiz. That's been a favorite program of hers, and she's really worked hard over the years to keep it going, to keep it funded, and to encourage youth and their parents to get involved. So for me, that's the last thing I have on my list that I wanted to bring up for this morning, but we'd be more than glad to answer any questions that you might have.
Tell me about Eddie Stanley. I'm sure you worked with him, obviously. What do you remember most about him?
Eddie, unfortunately, I'd never worked at the department when Eddie was there, but we make a point of really recognizing the officers who come to our council meetings and provide the security there for the public. And Eddie was a regular there, and I think maybe if you saw some of the comments about Eddie, they called him Smiley because he had this really engaging smile. And as soon as you walked up to him, he was ready to greet you, and such a nice guy. I mean, he was easygoing. He was one of those guys that you want to be a policeman, slow to quick action, thoughtful, considerate, and really loved the city. And those are the kinds of people that we want to continue to encourage. He set a good a role model for how you conduct yourself as a police officer. But just a good man, good character, and it is unfortunate to see anyone leave unexpectedly like this. But at such an early age, he still had, I think, a good future at the police department. He was a good officer. He was a good supervisor as a lieutenant. But yeah, I talked with him on a regular basis because, like I said, once you shook his hand and started talking, he was ready to engage. Really nice gentleman.
Kind of going back to the budget too, has there been any actions so far to start changing that number, or kind of with the process, would that be a no?
So we started some of the initial work. Earlier this year, we had some public meetings with the governing body to share some of the thoughts and some of the ideas that we had. Obviously, some of those ideas focus around a sales tax, and we heard from the public, we heard from the council as far as hey, we're not saying that we'll never support it, but as mentioned, there's some work that we need to do first on the city side, and so a lot of the work over the last few months has really been being able to identify those efficiencies, being able to, we talked about a hiring freeze a couple months ago, again, which really is more of we're really scrutinizing how we hire, ensuring that whatever positions that we are going to hire for, that they're needed, and if there's opportunities for those duties to be absorbed by other existing employees, then we'll take that opportunity and take the savings from not filling that position. We've gotten some pretty good feedback from the council over the last few months, and we'll be starting our work sessions here. We've already started them. With the CIP, we talked about during the CIP process, like one of the things that we're considering is restructuring our debt. Right now, we historically have done a 15-year payoff of our bonds. If we do a 20-year period for our bonds, we can actually free up some dollars that could go towards our operating budgets. So those are some of the things that we'll be discussing more in depth with the governing body here in the coming weeks and the coming months.
You mentioned the creative solutions. What are those? Is that what?
Well, that's one. Yeah. What I just mentioned is one of them. If you go study best practices of issuing debt, and you're typically looking at a 20-year period, we've historically done a 15. Which is good. You pay off debt a little bit earlier, I get that. But sometimes when you need to free up some dollars for your operating budget, sometimes it's, hey, maybe we could look at a 20-year debt period versus a 15. There's some trade-offs, but again, that's just something that we've identified as a potential option to address our shortfall. So just things along those lines.
Hotel Topeka, obviously that's taking monies from us. Mm-hmm. How close are we to it? And we keep asking that every time. I get that. Do we truly have a group or two set just this close? And then also my other question, if you would, we always talk about the monies that the city's having to pay out to keep that thing going. How about when rooms are rented, when they're in there, does that money come to us, and how's the occupancy been? Are we seeing a lot of usage there, and do we get some monies from that to bring down any of this debt that we're experiencing?
So I'll talk about where we're at with the hotel. Obviously, you guys have reported that we have 6 offers on the table, right? We continue to work through them. I will tell you that we're working on a financial analysis on some viable options. I won't tell you how many of those we really feel are really positive for the city of Topeka. As I mentioned previously, I think that we're closer today than obviously we were 6 months ago. I think that we've been able to share a lot of the details with the governing body, and I'll just say I think again we're closer than we were 6 months ago. I don't know if the mayor wants to speak anything more to that.
Well, you did ask a piece there, Eric, about occupancy. It's increased, and what I have been pleased to see is that a number of those organizations who, when we first came into purchasing the hotel, changed their convention schedules. Because they have to book out a year or two, and we lost some of that. They're coming back already. I've even been in conversations with a state organization that is never wanted to leave, but they wanted to be sure that the hotel would be operating. And that's why the governing body insisted that as we continue to work on the hotel, that we keep it open. At one time, it was suggested, well, we should just close it and do all the renovations. And at one time, I think that would have been a bad move, in my opinion. I think it'd be harder to restart it again. It's continued to have use, and that use is increasing. And you'll see that as we have more events associated with the Stormont Vale Event Center, people are seeing that that hotel is available and they're booking up on it. And, we just, I know that they just signed another agreement for the wrestling tournament to come back here. And that's all you heard. We like coming here. We like using the hotel. We want to be all in one place. So the business is there. It's just that we are still committed to putting it in the best shape possible. If you owned a home, you're not going to show it in its worst condition. You're going to show it in the best condition you can, and then you hope for the best qualified buyer to come by. And I think that's where we are right now. We're really vetting some qualified proposals, and it makes us very, I don't want to say hopeful, I want to say encouraged by the interest that's there. And so, like the city manager says, we're way closer to it now than we were 6 months ago.
Do we get some of that money when they're renting? Does that go to bring it down anything? Or I guess I don't know how that works out.
Yeah, so typically we are contractually obligated to maintain an operating fund within the hotel. I believe it's around $250,000. Anytime that it dips below that, we have to infuse some money into it. And so when the hotel operates well, obviously we don't have to contribute to that. So that's how that works. The money doesn't come to the city. They basically keep it within the operating fund within the hotel, and they draw down as they need to.
I have one last question. Do you guys have anything to say about the Stewart lawsuit?
It's pending litigation, and so I don't have any comments on that.
Can you guys talk about just why it's so cool for the city to kind of be invited into the USS Topeka's kind of final chapter?
Oh, yeah. We were communicating with them all along, and we've had exchanges of items back and forth. We've flown a flag over the city of Topeka and sent it to the commander. The first commander, now we have another one there. He has also asked for one, and we've done that. We've sent them a flag from the city. They've sent us memorabilia from the USS Topeka as well. And it's really, I don't know if you saw a picture that they've had, that it had all the sailors kind of manning the rail on the submarine, and they all were wearing the Topeka T-shirts. So, I mean, that's pretty cool to have that kind of support, especially that in that service, submariners, they're out there for a long time, and it's good to have a connection to a community that really feels that not just supporting all military, but specifically these people because they're on a namesake vessel. And so it's really been exciting to have them also come here, get to know the community even more so. And so there has been a ongoing effort to keep that connection. And I think that's something that Topeka, again, I spoke earlier about how welcoming it is and supportive of military personnel, just like the Guard that we have here. We've always really appreciated their presence and like to get them involved as much as we can. So it's important for us to really spruce ourselves up for the visitors that are coming. So anybody in Topeka, know that they're coming. Be welcoming to them. Ask them questions about their service out there on the USS Topeka. And I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully we'll have a big turnout on May 5th.
And construction projects within the city, are they on track? Any updates on different things going on?
I will say yes, they are on track. I can tell you, I think it's the, I have to get back to you on the exact project, but I got an update that one of the major streets that's been closed for a minute will be open up here pretty soon in the next couple of weeks. And check with me on the details, but yeah, everything's good. Weather's cooperating, and I mean we're back to full steam ahead on everything.
I know that Topeka Boulevard project that went from 29th to 21st Street, that's not, I drive it just so I can drive it and go out of my way to get on it. I mean, it's in that good a condition, and I think the adjacent project of 21st Street, the cross street, is about ready. Yeah. That'll be good to enjoy, because that's it's a main thoroughfare. That's a gateway into the city and a corridor, and so people use it a lot. And I know it'll then be closed again for the next step, but that's the only way you get things fixed, is to take it bit by bit and let the public know so they can adjust. And I think they've done a pretty good job adjusting with all the construction changes that are going on, and those related to Polk Quincy as well. That's made a lot of changes in how people get to and from work or from one side of town to the other. But I think the community has been really responsive and respectful of the workers that are around there doing all that work in the street.
And I also will mention too, the mayor was talking about adjustments. I'll tell you that our public works team has worked with the contracted community to adjust some of our efforts for timeliness. We've put a few more restrictions on ensuring that our contractors abide by the contractual days within the contracts they're awarded. And so we've made some adjustments to be aligned with what Shawnee County does as far as liquidated damages, some of the fees that are associated with if they go past the contractual days, changing some of our contracts to be calendar days versus working days. And so again, some of those adjustments that we made to ensure that our projects are done timely. My hat's off to Public Works and the leadership for working on that.
Okay. Well, there are no further questions. I appreciate your attendance and attention. Have a good weekend. Thank you very much.